So, conceding that the soul exists, conceding means admitting or agreeing or not fighting or not arguing, being conclusive that the soul exists. Another doubt arises, which we'll be seeing in this verse. And the disciple puts forth his arguments regarding the term of existence of the soul. He is convinced regarding the soul. He is convinced regarding the existence of the soul. But how much time, the time span of the existence of the soul is not clear yet. He is confused. Rather, he has many different thoughts running in his mind, and he puts forth these in the form of a query, two queries, verse 60 and verse 61. Verse 60, the disciple sees the whole thing from the perspective of gross modification of life, meaning the creation and the destruction of the soul in regards to the body. He's wondering why we should believe that there was soul before the body also and after the body is destroyed. Why should it exist? He sees no reason. So one is from the perspective of the gross modification of life, meaning the creation and destruction of the soul in regards to the creation and destruction or the birth and death of the body. This is due to the influence of the Charvak philosophy. And he concludes that our experience shows that the soul is not eternal, not immortal, not permanent. Number one. The second argument is seen from the perspective of subtle modification of life, like the states of anger, etc., are all momentary. You might be in anger right now, and say next moment, or say after 5 minutes or 1 hour, you are in a feeling of love. Pure love, friendliness, maitri. Suddenly the love becomes possessive and becomes lust. So see the modifications going on. So that soul who was so revengeful, vindictive, revengeful, is no more. So that soul has died. It's no more. Right? So seeing from the perspective of the subtle modifications of life, like the states of different auspicious feelings, inauspicious feelings. This is because of the influence of the Buddhist philosophy. And so, he says, our experience say that the soul is momentary. In first he said soul is not eternal. It's only for some span of time. You want to believe it from the embryo stage, from the first development of the organism till death, and then perishes. Why? It just vanishes. The soul just vanishes. Why do you want the soul to live more? When we don't have any proof. See, since birth we have been told Puna Janma, Purva Janma, Punah Janma, rebirth, ક્યાંથી આવ્યો છે આ જીવ, ક્યાં જવાનો, all these thoughts were induced in us. But there is no concrete evidence regarding the transmigration, regarding rebirth, regarding the doctrine of karma. So two arguments to be very clear. First one, influence of the Charvak philosophy. Second one, influence of the Buddhist philosophy. First one, seeing from the perspective of gross modifications of life. I'm saying life, I'm not saying soul. I'm saying life. The external manifestation being the body and the internal being the soul, which animates, right? So this Charvak, gross modifications of life, like creation and destruction of the body. So why not? It's the same. The moment the body is created, the soul is created, because we don't know before that. And we know that now the body is dead. The knowingness is no more. So even the soul is dead. Isn't it making thoda sense? Thoda. So you actually didn't need this second pad, and now you do need the second pad. Right? You say, existence now, what new is going to be said in this second? So the first one is, soul is there, but for a limited span of time. Limited span. Second is under the influence, due to the influence of the Buddhist philosophy, which believes in the doctrine of momentariness. Kshan. Kshan means one moment. So I have done Buddhism for 2 years, and the sutra they give is Yat Shanikam Tat Sat. Tat Te Sat, truth or existence. What is truth? Which is momentary. Yat Je Shanikam, momentary. Tat Te is the truth. Change is the only truth. So, the doctrine of momentariness, which is discussed and argued in the Buddhist philosophy. So, I'm not saying the Shishya, the disciple, is influenced only, but he has come in contact with people who believe in this philosophy. So Param Kripaludev, without naming the philosophy. So I have told you why he didn't name and why I am naming. I have told you the reason behind it. So without naming, because that was not his purpose, to accept or refute other philosophies is not the purpose of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. So without naming, just showing it as a query, one of the query of the disciple. So if this query has to be resolved, how would the Guru resolve this query will be beautifully explained in the clarification which will be given by the Guru, by the Sadguru. So after getting convinced of the truth of the first proposition or the fundamental truth regarding the soul, that is, the soul exists. That was the first fundamental truth, or you can say first proposition. The disciple proceeds to his doubts about the second proposition, that is, the soul is eternal. The second fundamental truth is that the soul, which is a substance that exists, is eternal, permanent. That is the truth. But he is having doubts regarding the permanence nature of the existence of the soul. Existence of the soul he accepts, knowingness. He has to. But whether the knowingness is an attribute and the substance is called the soul. Knowingness is the attribute, Gnan, and the substance, which substance is having this attribute? The soul. So the moment you accept knowingness, you have actually accepted the soul, gun, guni, dravya and its attributes, guna. Dravya, substance, gun, attribute. We, પેલું હતું ને ગઈકાલે શું હતું પીપલ પાન કે શું પાંદડું હલે છે એટલે હવા છે, દેખાતી નથી પણ હવા છે, હવા છે એટલે પાંદડું હલે છે. એવી રીતે knowingness છે એટલે soul છે. We saw it yesterday. Right? So now the disciple proceeds to his doubts about the second proposition, that is the soul is eternal. In this verse, meaning the verse 60, under the influence, so not necessary that he was influenced, but he is not being able to resolve what is prevalent in the society, this type of thinking, theory, philosophy. Theory, when accepted by many, will become a philosophy. So it's prevalent in the society and he's not totally convinced, or he cannot resolve it. So what do you do in times of crisis? Go to the Sadguru, present your doubt and request for the solution, remedy, solution, clarification, answer. So that's exactly what he's doing. So in this verse 60, under the influence of the Charvak philosophy, from the perspective of gross modification, expressing the impermanence of the soul, the disciple asks, says meaning he asks.
बीजे शंका थाय त्या आत्मा नहीं अविनाश देह योग थी उपजे देह वियोगे नाश.
You understood it. Biji Shanka Thai Tya, Tya means now. It's not over. The discussion is not over, Guruji. Discussion regarding the existence of soul, I'm convinced. Regarding the possibility of the existence of the soul. Sambhavte no thai. But tya, now, biji shanka thai, second doubt arises. And what is it? Atma nahi, soul is not. Avinash. What is the meaning of avinash? Vinash means destruction. Avinash means indestructible. So this Shisha is saying soul is not indestructible. That is what I feel. The soul is not eternal. The soul is not immortal. What is said, what is believed, that the soul amar che, avinash che, it will never be destroyed, it is permanent substance. Atma nahi, this is my doubt. Atma is not permanent. But you do believe in the existence of the soul. So I said, where did I say no? The Shisha is saying, the disciple is saying, it does exist. But existence does not mean, even you exist, even Dr. Mansi exists. But that does not mean Dr. Mansi is eternal. She does exist, but just because I believe in her existence does not mean she is immortal. So what is the exact, what is going in the disciples' mind? Deha yogti upje. The soul takes birth with the union of the body. It was not there. The moment the embryo is created, the soul is also created. And the moment the body perishes, the soul also dies. So deha yogati, union, upaje. You have to keep it distinct because that is already accepted. Deha yogati upaje, deha viyog means when the body gets destroyed, or the soul gets destroyed on the separation with the body. And the body gets destroyed, even the soul gets destroyed. Short meaning. Now arises the second doubt, that the soul is not indestructible, immortal, eternal. It is created with the association of the body and is destroyed with the separation from the body. Are you understanding the argument? Seems more reasonable, right? More acceptable, more reasonable. and it correlates with our experience, because once that uh, person dies, we don't see that knowingness of that person. So maybe the soul has also died. Why do you say only the body dies? Because the soul is immaterial, or the soul is not tangible. So we don't have to do a special kriya for the soul, but the body is tangible, so we have to take it to the crematorium and જે બી કરવું હોય તે કરો, બાળી નાખો, દફનાવી નાખો, whatever you want to do, you burn it or bury it or whatever. Right? So because it's tangible, we have to do all the kriyas, and because the soul is not tangible, so it has died and it's over. It just vanishes. But it's over. The episode is over. It was born, it evolved, it grew, it decayed, decomposed, died, vanishes from the earth, finish. This seems so. See, Prabhu's expertise is not biased. If I had to write, I didn't write. Appreciation of the Shishya. His thinking and his arguments are so strong. You might be convinced with or not convinced by the answers of the Guru, but you'll be surely convinced by the Shishya's arguments. So I said he's intelligent, he's clever, he's a thinker. Okay, so the bracket. The disciple feels that the soul might be, see, might be shows he's not yet come to a final conclusion. This is what seems like. So he's saying, then show me if I'm wrong. Where am I going wrong? Why? Why I know, but where? The disciple feels that the soul might be arising with the formation of the body and might be destroyed at the time of death. Clear? So it seems the disciple finds no reason to believe otherwise. Otherwise, in the sense that the soul is born with the body and soul dies with the body. He finds no reason that the soul should continue. And then what happens? Some believe that, grave ma, kabar ma, the soul, they use the word ruh for that. So we had gone to Bahrain, which year I don't know. 2017, I think, huh? 2018? Okay, 2018 I had gone to Bahrain or Bahrain, what, the Juna loko Bahrain bole છે, and અમે Bahrain શીખ્યા છે, whatever. So ત્યાં ગયા, that was my first trip. We went to a mosque, and then we had a campfire. તો ના કહેવાય, mosque માં campfire તો ના કહેવાય. So discussion. We had a discussion with the Maulvi there, and I don't ask the questions directly, because let me speak in Gujarati for one sentence માટે. So because એને કોઈ બી, if he gets irritated, if he can't answer, if he gets irritated, and any ill feelings for me will cause a lot of karma band to him. So if it's for me, the whole thing will go into darshan mo. If it's for some other person, it will go into charitra mo. So I don't ask directly, I make others ask. So I said, what is your belief? There's nothing like refuting or defeating or anything. I just wanted to know, what is your belief after death? So after death, he used the word ruh, but he meant the soul, of course. So the soul remains in the grave only. It's over there. That's why people go to the grave every anniversary. Anniversary કહેવાય, death anniversary આવે તો ફૂલ મૂકવા જાય. Bollywoodમાં you see, after years also that old man will go and put a flower there, and okay, because the Atma is yet there, because they don't believe in rebirth, they don't believe in transmigration of the soul. It is only this birth. But the ruh remains, and then what happens? Then the day of judgment, or Qayamat ka din. Christians say the day of judgment, Muslims say Qayamat ka din. And then you will be judged. It'll be read out. You have done so much charity, you have done so much austerities, penance, worship, etc., etc. You are a good soul, so you need to go to, what is the word they use? Jannat. You didn't know Jannat? And we used to sing Jannat hogi, paon ke niche Jannat hogi. Hello. So what? So you are dancing for what? Jannat. અરે હજી તો ખોલશું તો આપણે રડવું આવશે નહીં મીજી. They were enjoying, but see, when you understand it, it becomes so meaningful. पाँव के नीचे जिसके सिर पे राज की कृपा, पाँव के नीचे जन्नत होगी. So Jannat and hell. What did you say? Huh? So we all have done Quran. He has studied it deeply, so he has different terminologies. पर आप लोग तो जे बॉलीवुड में जे सामने जन्नम में जाएगा, नरक में जाएगा. So they say it will be read out, and if you have done good things, then you go to Jannat. So I said, oh God, only for 50 years if I have done good things, so I go to Jannat. And how much time do I stay in the Jannat? Because when we think of the Jain philosophy, they say punya ban, jahan sudhi punya hoi ta sudhi, for million years, or 33 sagar upams, and whatever the unit. But it is a limited time, and then you again take birth wherever you have to take. So I asked, because they don't believe in the rebirth. So is Jannat eternal? And like he was a little disturbed, because even he might have not thought of it. So he said, no, it's only for some time. So I said, then what after some time? Because now you are blank. You are with account 0. Then what? He said, why such questions should erupt in your mind? Then what? Then again you will be born. Because then you believe in rebirth. Then I realized, like, he just goofed up. Goofed up. So because then again you have to believe in transmigration of the soul. So he shouldn't be saying this, but I'm not saying nobody can answer. That fellow could not answer. And then I just winked at everyone, okay, let's go. Now don't, thodi toheen jevu lagtu. Right word? Huh? I've done little bit of Urdu, no? So in those days when I started speaking in Hindi, it was more of Urdu than Hindi. Toheen and toheen. Okay. So whatever. So this is the mental frame of the disciple right now. Why? We have always, or we can only recognize the soul when it's in the body. See all your examples. Atmani satta vade teha pravarte jan. Everything is in relation with the body. He has not seen any soul without a body. And it's till the body exists. This knowingness exists. So he finds no reason that there should be something before, something after. The soul should be before you were born, and the soul should remain. Okay, remain after the body perishes. Why? He finds no logical reason. And there is no empirical evidence also. Can you say you are this Atma, you are this, your last birth is this thing? Nothing. There is no proof. You are understanding? So he seems to believe that the soul does exist, and it exists when the body is alive, and then when the body perishes, the soul just gets blown out. Candle, your candle, birthday candle, blown out. And why not? Why can't this be true? Okay, he's saying the soul lives, the soul dies, and then just vanishes from the earth. Why can't this be true? Why do you want that soul to enter some other body? Are you understanding the argument? So let's turn towards the verse and see Biji Shanka Thaitya. So the disciple is telling his guru that despite being free of the doubt regarding the existence of the soul, I am free, I have no doubts. Conviction beyond doubt that the soul does exist with the attribute of knowingness. Another doubt arises in my mind, and that the soul exists, but it also gets destroyed. It's not indestructible. So, not eternal, not permanent, not immortal. It's making sense. I want to, make you feel that this makes more sense than believing. See, we have Param Kripadev at the age of 7. How many births? 900 births. And when he saw the fort of Junagadh, it increased to 2,500 births. And it went on increasing. But then he didn't feel like mentioning. This was mentioned once to Padamsi Thakursi in Mumbai. Place પાયધુનિયાના એક ટેમ્પલમાં દર્શન કરવા ગયા હતા. And so another doubt arises that it's not an eternal substance which will exist in all 3 periods of time, past, present and future. It does exist, and it exists till the body exists, and when the body perishes, even the soul is, I use the word, blown out. It just vanishes and it's over. Story is over. Are you understanding? You don't need a heaven. You don't need a hell. Forget moksha. So what is he saying here in this argument? Deha yog biji shanka thaitya atma nahi eternal. Avinash. He is not saying anything regarding momentary or anything. It might be living for 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, but not momentary. That is the second argument. It dies every moment. So that is under the influence of the Buddhist philosophy. So here he is saying the soul is of the nature of creation and destruction. Soul exists with the attribute of knowingness or consciousness. That I accept. But it is of the nature of creation and destruction. Means birth of the soul and the death of the soul. As the birth of the body and the death of the body, even the soul emerges with the union of, or with the association, or with the formation. Any one word is enough. Quiz ma bhi and understanding ma bhi. Formation lo, association lo, union lo with the body. And how does the Charvak philosophy explain this? If you want to know, I can tell you in short. Why do they say? So, what is the Shishya asking first? The soul is of the nature of creation and destruction. And how does it take place? With the formation of the body, emerges that substance which is called the soul with the attribute of consciousness. So he's actually saying, Jadti Chetan Upaje. So you already know why that was Jadti Chetan Na Upje. But he is saying, Jadti body mathi consciousness jage, which is another substance created from the body in association with the body, and it gets destroyed with the body. So it's a substance that exists as long as the body exists. So it exists but for a limited period of time. Not even momentary and not even permanent. For a limited period of time. એટલે કે જેટલું તમારું આયુષ્ય હોય, જેટલી તમારી લાઈફ હોય, એટલી જ. And it makes sense, no? It's actually quite reasonable. And you can relate to it also. Okay, the soul stops functioning at death. હાર્ટનું જે થવાનું હોય તે થાય, બ્રેનનું જે થવાનું હોય તો થાય, all that is matter only. But the knowingness is also not there. So why not believe the soul has died? Why do you want to say the soul has left the body? Who has ever seen, even in yesterday's discussion, has anyone seen him going on Mercedes, ke sports car, ke evite અહીંયાથી મરી, and Jasani will go in his car wherever he has to go? You have to take everything in account. બધા પાપો જે કર્યા હોય તે બી ગણાશે બધા, અને સત્સંગો બી જે કરે અને ચેરિટી બી કરી એ બી ગણાશે. સો એની ગાડીમાં જશે એવી રીતે. આપણી પાસે જે ખટારો છે એ ખટારામાં જશો, એમાં શું? Has anyone seen? આપણા forefathers વગેરે ancestors ગયા છે તો have they come back to us and said, I'm enjoying there, don't worry? So why do you want to believe that the soul enters another body? Right? So this is in purview of logic, near to our experience. Until the incorrectness of our logic, it will be shown by the Guru. So just as objects like ghatpat, meaning ghattapata, pot and cloth, etc. Not only two. So it's a representation of all material objects. Just as pot, cloth, etc., they exist for a limited period of time. How much ever it is expensive, but it's not immortal, or it is not permanent. It's for a limited period of time. In the same way, even this is a substance, pot, cloth. Even soul is a substance. So if these substances have to be like it will decay, decompose, destroy, then why the soul should be an exception? Because we are talking of substance right now. If every substance it's created and will be destroyed, why shouldn't, what is argued, why shouldn't the soul, which is also a substance, though with knowingness, touch વગેરે, બધું છે, આમાં knowingness છે, but why this exception? Then even the soul should perish. So this is because of the influence of the Charvak philosophy. Now what does the Charvak philosophy exactly say? It says consciousness is created with the association of 5 gross elements of the universe. Which are they? પહેલા ગુજરાતીમાં બોલી લો, પછી ઇંગ્લિશમાં બોલો. પૃથ્વી, પાણી, અગ્નિ, વાયુ and આકાશ. English: earth, water, fire, air, space or ether, whatever you want to say. The better word is ether, but space. So because of this combination of these 5 gross elements, in right proportion and in a right way, the body is created. And when the proportions are perfect, along with the body, even consciousness is created. Are you getting? See, that's why when we burn the dead body, the earth becomes ashes. The earth element of the body turns into ashes. Then the second element, water. So water evaporates because you're burning. Third, vayu. So vayu merges with the Mahavayu. then fire to fire, and ether, so space in the Mahaspace. So this is the way the body decomposes, destroyed, and again the Panchabhut or five gross elements are now no more in a right combination, right proportion, in a right way, so the body disintegrates, decomposes, shattered. All the five gross elements are shattered, and that is what we say the body perishes. And along with the body, even the knowingness is not seen, because we have only seen the soul or the knowingness in a living body. We have not seen it in the dead body. Something should be there, no? That knowingness should exist, no? So it's not there. So with the decomposition of the body, even this happens. And they support this fact, their philosophy, this philosophy, with a wonderful example. So who have tasted let me talk in past tense only. Wine in their life? I didn't say wife, I said wine. Okay. So what is it made up of? I have not tasted it, so I don't know. Grapes? Yeah. So once when I was coming from Paris to Antwerp by car, and you know France is known for wines. So રસ્તામાં જતા હતા અને આટલી બધી ગ્રેપ્સનો એક થાળ, and there were women stamping, and they said, see આ બધું okay. That means grapes has that intoxicating element. Wine does have, right? And the components of the wine should also have that intoxicating. So it's basically wine jo hai, so it must be grape, and it must be water, and whatever sugar booger add karta. I don't know, I'm not tasting. મીઠું હોય કે ના હોય? મીઠું હોય? હા, તમે લોકો તો એ મૂડમાં ચાલ્યા ગયા એકદમ. I'm saying if wine has the intoxicating element, it's an intoxicating drink. So all the components, the part which makes the whole, should also be intoxicating agents. So how can you have grapes then? I have. એમ સમજીને કે હવે જિંદગીમાં વાઇન તો ક્યાં પીવાના છે, ગ્રેપ્સ તો પી લો. So they support their argument with this beautiful example. So they say grapes alone, water alone, they don't have that intoxicating effect. But when the mixture is in right proportion, right way, ગુજરાતીમાં જેને કહેવાય સડે ત્યારે, ઇંગ્લિશમાં કહેવાય ફોર્મેન્ટ થાય ત્યારે. Very nice word, fermentation and all. But in Gujarati, the meaning is sadwu. અને આમ તો આપણી ઇડલી બીડલી બી બધી એવી જ છે ને, ઢોકલા કાંઈ કે કેવા બધા ઢોકલા જેવા થઈ ગયા છે. So you are understanding these elements. Say there are 5 elements which combine 5 components, and in the right proportion, in the right manner, in the right with the right method, you can create that intoxication element in it, from it. In the same way, when the 5 gross elements of the universe, which is matter, different types of matter, when combined in the right proportion, in the right manner, right method, creates consciousness. See, the example, જડથી ચેતન ઉપજે. The funny thing is, grapes mati wine થાય છે, but you want from the gross matter, you are saying you are creating consciousness. So where is the incorrectness in this example that the Guruji will be resolving that? So this is very important, right proportion and right way. Just add 5 things. 3 grapes લઈ લો, 1 drop of water નાખી દો એની અંદર, અને થોડી sugar બુગર નાખી દો, ને કે સાલી wine થઈ નહીં. No, it is called grape juice. which we can have. Huh? So there must be some difference between grape juice and wine. So in the same way, just 5 gross elements randomly in association will not create consciousness. But when the association is such that it creates a body, that is the time consciousness is also created. This is the way the Charvaks explain this whole philosophy. And of course, some Charvaks say char bhoot, some say panch bhoot. 4 gross elements, not space, because space cannot be seen. And they believe only what can be seen should be believed. So 4 things you can see, space you cannot. So the cultured Charvaks, the later ones, say we don't believe in Panchbhut, 5 gross elements. We believe in only combination of 4 gross elements. 5th is space, it cannot be seen, and what cannot be seen, we won't. Because if we start believing in space, you will insist on believing the soul also. So they are uncultured Charvaks and cultured uncultured meaning not barbaric or anything, but not so literate, and the literate ones. So like one of the Charvaks say, he was once upon a time a Charvak. Basically the whole medical fraternity, right? So Charvak is not a bad word. It is, we will believe it as a way of thinking. Basically, you are no more a Charvak right now. But Khali Jain Revati bhi nahi tha, you have to be a spiritual person. So yesterday I've written down beautifully, I've written 1 page. So some people now take pride, oh God. Some people, but we have 1 day extra, I'll take it tomorrow. So some people take pride, and you people might be facing such people. They are called SBNR. જે મેનારાઇઝ છે ને એવી રીતે એક બીજી ટર્મ છે, સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ બટ નોટ રિલિજિયસ. Spiritual S but B not and religious. This is a trend in even USA, everywhere maybe. Tamara colleges, I'm spiritual, I like meditation and all, and I like humanitarian work also. Seva, charity, service, everything. But I don't like religious. Rituals I don't like. Can I say something? So I've written yesterday evening only. No one can bypass rituals to become spiritual. No one. Why? What is ritual? Some form of doing. Some form of doing. Maybe you are not interested in accepting the doings which is accepted in the society. I don't like wearing that mupati and keeping that matla every time during upvas and all. I don't like all that rituals. I don't like all this tilak. I don't like kanthi. I don't like all this. So maybe you don't like some types of doing. Then what do you like? I like, and typical gujus will say, I am doing meditation. Which is perfect. I am meditating is not right. I am doing meditation because meditation also is a doing. So and doing means ritual. So you are just saying that I am not accepting the present religious methods in the society. I want to create my own ritual, my own discipline. But you are creating a discipline. Even a person doing yoga has his discipline. And even you have your mats and, my God, several stuff you have. Suva mate, nuna ulta thava mate. So all these are kadas and kanthis, nothing else. So you have your instruments, your symbols, your way of doing, and Jains have their way of doing, Vaishnavas have their way of doing. So you are not against ritual, you are against the ritual done by that person or that religion, maybe. But you are creating a set of rituals for yourself to be spiritual. So I call that religion. So I call you religious. Right or wrong? Yesterday I've written one page on it. I'm just sharing a little bit. So nobody can bypass ritual to become spiritual because ritual is there in the word spiritual. Only SPI is added, meaning ritual doing towards non-doing, doing towards only being. And you become spiritual, adhyatmik. From dharmic you become adhyatmik. Is it making sense? Even a sportsman, even an actor, બધા જ કોઈને કોઈ discipline follow કરે છે, and I will call that ritual, I will call that actor's religion. Religion is a set of philosophy and rituals. So he has a philosophy, he has the inverted commas doing of his choice. So he's following a philosophy, he's following a ritual. So how can you can be a humanitarian worker without being religious? You might not have any set of rituals as such, but that is also doing. Doing seva. Talk like pure gujus and you will get your answers. Doing seva. Doing seva. So again there is a doing. And you have a particular way of doing it, so that is a ritual. And you're sticking to your ritual, so you're religious. You may be not following the Jain method of rituals, maybe. Going to the temple and applying the tilak and all. So you don't like that, but you're creating your own. Everyone wants to become Bhagavan Mahavir. Whatever, if you are benefiting by it, I don't mind. But nobody can bypass ritual, because it is in the word spiritual itself. Something more, some direction is given, and that's what Prabhu is going to say. Nischay rakhi lakshma sadhan karva soy. All your rituals should be with this direction, in this direction, with the consciousness and self-awareness. That's it. So the Charvak say that the soul is created by the association of these 5 gross elements, and this was asked by the third Gandhar. What is the name? Vayubhuti Gautam. First is Indrabhuti Gautam, which we call Gautam Swami, but his actual name is Indrabhuti. Gautam is a surname. Indrabhuti Gautam, 3 brothers. Indrabhuti Gautam, Agnibhuti Gautam, Vayubhuti Gautam. But because the others are not so famous, so Gautam. So આપણે કહીએ એ ઝવેરી ભાઈ, કેટલાક આપણે એમ કહીએ એ ઝવેરી ભાઈ, એવી રીતે ગૌતમ સ્વામી. But actual name is Indrabhuti Gautam. Gautam is the Gotra name, surname, je kahiye, family. So the third Gandhar had this doubt in his mind. I'm just saying, we have done Gandharvad, so you must be knowing it. But how he's putting all the Gandhar's queries as the Shishya's query. So that is a part, this is a part of the Gandharvad, which is a part of the Vishesh Avashak Bhashya by Acharya Jinbhadra. Acharya Jinbhadra, he composed Vishesh Avashak Bhashya, and one part of Vishesh Avashak Bhashya is Gandharvad, and we took Gandharvad, I don't know which year, 2014, whole year. And it was a very interesting year, right? Very, jarur, very. So that's the typical translation of Gujarati into English. Yeah, very. So the soul is created with the birth of this body. Simple as that. What is the Shishya's argument here? The soul is a substance with the attribute of, because existence he has no doubt now, but he has doubt regarding it is beginningless and endless, meaning permanent and immortal. He does not feel so. He feels it is created with the association of the body and it will be destroyed. I'm repeating again and again because we need to first understand the doubt and how it is addressed by the Sadguru. So, when with this combination of the 5 gross elements, body is created, and along with the body, the soul is created. Similarly, when the combination gets scattered, we say the body is destroyed. And then the soul expires with the disintegration or the separation of the 5 gross elements, which created the body. So 5 gross elements separated, the body perishes. Along with that, even the soul expires. Is it clear? So the disciple accepts the existence of the soul, but he doubts the period of existence. His problem is period, time of existence. How much does it exist? Existence he does accept. That he has said, Sambhav teno thai che antar karye vichar. With right thinking, with logical thinking, now it seems possible, it seems acceptable. But I'm not sure regarding its durability or whether it is created, whether it gets destroyed, that I'm not clear. And so obviously, so when a customer goes to a shop, so what will he do? First thing, he will ask for the availability of a substance which he has come for. Tamari pase આ છે? Right? Availability of the substance. That's the first thing. Second question શું? કયું કાર્ડ જોઈએ તમને? હા? વોરંટી. એટલે કે ગેરંટી. વોરંટી એટલે પીરિયડ એટલે કે ગેરંટી ક્યાં સુધી ટકશે આ? ચાઇનાનું છે તો એનું એક્સપાયર હોય, યુએસનું છે તો આટલું. યુ કાન્ટ એક્સપેક્ટ કે ચાઇનાથી આવશે પરમેનન્ટ રહેશે, યુ કાન્ટ એક્સપેક્ટ દેટ વે. પછી વેક્સિન બી એવું, અરે વાયરસ બી એવું, એનીથિંગ. It won't. It's not everlasting. So first thing, the customer will ask for the availability of the substance. And second, the guarantee period or say the warranty. Right? So exactly in the same way, first pad was of the availability of, meaning the existence of the soul. But just because it exists, it's not necessary it's going to stay permanent. So now he's thinking about the guarantee, warranty, JB Tameko, how much will it last? And what he has in his mind? It will last only till the body lasts. Deha yogati upaje. See now how meaningful it's becoming. Ave mari actions tame joso, you will understand. Deha yogati upaje, deha viyoge nash. So, the soul is not eternal. When the body is born, the soul is born. When the body dies, the soul dies, expires, perishes, blown out. Meaning, the span of the body and the soul is one. If the body is living for 70 years, the soul is also going to stay for 70. The body, and so see, yet that somewhere he yet feels, though it is separate, but it's interlinked. You cannot say कि आनी यात्रा अलग छे ने आनी यात्रा over થઈ ગઈ. The body has died, now it is over, it's now vanishing, and now it's just a pot of ashes. And even when you immerse it in the water, now nothing is left. Now nothing of photographs, you have nothing. I don't know જ્યારે photographs નહીં હોય ત્યારે શું થતું હશે. Nothing. It just vanishes from earth. And in the same way, the soul also vanishes from the earth. So, somewhere he is creating a base for the third pad also. Because if the soul is only not going to stay, then what is this doctrine of transmigration of the soul? So where you don't even need a heaven, you don't even need a hell, you don't even need to believe in rebirth. Similarly, not even in the doctrine of karma. So the third path, the soul is the doer of the karma. And the fourth, you have several options. Endurer and enjoyer and receiver and sufferer. So he does not need to believe. If this is clear, then he will need to understand the nature of the soul more. Why does he go to heaven? Who decides that he has to go to heaven? Some agency outside the soul decides, or the soul is the creator of his karmas. You are seeing the link. Chapad, you cannot say I believe in 3. You are seeing why. We are seeing why the soul is the doer, why the soul is the sufferer. And is this going to remain like this only? Do, suffer, do, suffer. No, liberation is possible. 5th pad. And should I wait for it to get liberation? So liberation is going to be automatic or by someone's blessings, or I need to put some effort. So what efforts do I need to put? 6th pad. મોક્ષનો ઉપાય છે. Let's sing.
બીજી શંકા થાય ત્યાં આત્મા નહીં અવિનાશ દેહ યોગથી ઉપજે દેહ વિયોગે નાશ